This is the Anime Podcast, episode 11. We're back with Chris and Sai and me at Gamers Heaven for our last part of the spring anime season review with 3 more anime for you. Let's get into it, guys.
That was first take.
First take.
Yep.
First try.
100%.
Not a couple minutes in whatsoever.
Exactly. No, not at all.
Professionals only.
So, Sai, what did we watch today?
I don't know. John has the list.
Still don't have it memorized.
The 3 that we just finished up watching here at Gamers Heaven in their lovely theater room in PA, the main location.
Phoenixville, PA.
Yes, Phoenixville, PA. We watched
Skip
first
and
up,
Loafer.
yeah. Well, we watched Skip and Loafer and Summoned to Another World for a second time, and then lastly we watched Why Raeliana Ended Up at the Duke's Mansion.
That's right.
Jam-packed episode day.
Not as exciting as some of the other ones this spring season, but
I beg to differ.
from Chris. But I think they were still good. I'm not saying they were terrible, but
I think a solid 3.
I think they were better than the ones we watched, not Oshinoku, but the episode before that.
Yeah.
Those were like my one-hit kill sister.
Yeah.
Were very...
Wait, Chris, when you say a solid 3, you mean a solid 3 out of 10, or you mean the episodes 3 of them were solid?
You know, thinking about that statement, I'm wrong. I lied. The first one we watched was not solid. I actually did not like it at all. But the other 2 were pretty good.
That was Summoned to Another World for a second time.
Yeah.
Summoned.
And I went, or actually, at least me personally, I knew nothing of these 3 anime going into them. No descriptions.
No one did.
Well,
None of
John
us.
might have.
Well, yeah.
I recognized Summoned to Another World after we started watching it for a bit. But that's solely just because of that one scene from the manga. And that otherwise, it was a very drastically different adaptation from the manga.
Yes. So I guess we're going to start with this.
Yeah,
then?
we'll go in the order that we watched it,
Okay.
which was Summoned to Another World for a second time, which I'll let one of you start it while I pull up the info on this guy.
So this is my very general synopsis. There is an individual who's a high school student, and apparently... Actually, I'm a little confused on this. His original world, was that where he was summoned to, or is...
So I'll read. I don't know the whole descriptions and showing up on my anime list, but the Crunchyroll synopsis is slightly gloomy teen Setsu is summoned to another world to save them. But wait, this isn't his first time doing it. 5 years in the alternate world of Claire have passed since the hero came to end the war and brought peace. However, a trap sent him back to his original world as a baby with his memories and powers intact. War is threatening the land once again, but is the hero ready for round 2?
Okay, so the other world is his original world.
So from how they have it here, I believe, yes, this is the world he came from and was sent to another world after he defeated it.
His original world, he was a human. He was grown up twice. The first time he went through his life cycle, went to the new world, fought the demons, and then was casted back, but as an infant, and then had to grow up again, basically.
Essentially, in the manga, he was summoned to this world as a teen, just him. He defeats the Demon King. Everybody really likes him, and the king finds his popularity to grow too big and sends him back to his world, but sends him back as somebody else, and then he has to relive his life, which it ends up in this point, him coming back as a different person, and none of his compatriots from the first time he was there remembering him.
Right.
It's also a much more goofy and slapstick and fan service manga, which this, I guess, it's kind of funny from when we saw the hero is dead again and Roshido's bad girls that were all
Rokudo's
Rokudo's bad girls that were all very obviously poorly out of taste fan service series that it was like, oh, those were done in time. This seemed like it was a overcorrection that they were like, oh, well, we don't want to do what they did and follow the manga exactly. And he's much more arrogant in the manga from when I read it. This, he has no arrogance. He's not even really gloomy from the synopsis.
No, he
seems
seems pretty
pretty
excited.
confident, I would say. He's
Yes.
extremely confident in what he wants to do.
But he's a much nicer person, which it's weird because they keep in this original scene still much more downplayed than it was in the manga. But when he like gets the girl to remember who he is by like slapping her butt and bringing up her masochistic tendencies, it's a very weird scene that it's like, why are you even doing this if you've cut out all the other fan service from it in there? It seems very odd.
I think they wanted to add a little bit. I don't know, for some reason. I don't know. It was
fan
cringy. It was
service.
cringy. It was cringy for me.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, so personally, I skimmed the first chapter while we were watching,
Yeah.
and it's like very different. Obviously, the characters appear older in the manga, and I feel like they should have stuck with that.
Yeah.
And if it's like slapstick raunchy, you might as well just keep it.
Yeah,
If you're
it's-
not like, if you're sprinkling it in, you might
It's
as well
like
just
either
for
go
it.
all the way with it of how it was originally written, and it makes more sense, as opposed to like, we're gonna keep like tiptoeing over the line in certain
Yeah.
parts.
But did the manga do good though? Like maybe
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because maybe like if it didn't, they're like, oh, and we're gonna adapt it. Let's try to change it a little bit.
I mean,
to
that would make
it,
sense.
Make it more digestible, maybe for other audiences. But
I feel like this is
I don't know the
less
scenario.
digestible what they
Yes,
have now.
it's also it's almost boring to a
Yeah.
point, because it's like they're not taking any risks. It's not excitable. Nobody's really giving a good acting experience. They're all kind of just like, oh well, we're gonna try again. And he seems much more humble, as in like the manga, he's like constantly like, I'm the best one here. No one ever else matters. I'm gonna go take care of this like that. And he like uses his wit to just kind of like fool everyone else into what he needs to do.
right.
But none of that's really reflecting. It's leading to just a very boring story and a bland character that feels like any other story
This
that I've
feels
seen.
very cookie cutter to me. Like, it's just your generic isekai kind of story, following some hero who's in another world, but this time it's his second time there.
Yeah.
It's not really interesting. Nothing stands out to me. I don't know who animated this, but in my opinion, kind of basic stuff, like what you would see in a
like
typical
average-
isekai.
I feel like it's very average for
Yeah.
an isekai. I don't think it's gonna jump out in any way and any type of uniqueness or anything
Right.
like that. But it's like what you expect.
Yep.
I don't think it's less. I don't think it's more. I think it's just the most. I think it's the most average
Yeah, it's very
episode at least that we've seen.
it's very bland, and it's like I said before, it's very funny that it's just like what other ones were like, yep, we're just gonna stick with, came off as very like outdated. This just feels like an overcorrection that just feels very bland, and whoever's decision in making this, also too, the art style is very different from the manga.
Yep.
To this, it's like, I feel like somebody just looked at it and was like, yeah, I want to do this, and then the manga guy was like, cool, great, let's make it. And he was like, yeah, but our what's it when they do like research, our studies show that people don't really align with this, so is it cool if we change this? And maybe they don't really like older characters, so let's knock it down. They're not in high school, they're in middle school. Cool. And the girl, they don't like headstrong girls, so we have to make her more cutesy and appear weak, even though she's very more outspoken in the manga. And it's just like, you have essentially a new story at that point.
The other knight that's in there, was it Glenn or
Yes.
like when they roll through on the horseback though? I mean, they kind of tore up those demons pretty easy.
Yeah.
And you can tell they're
that's the
strong.
guards. We're talking about the childhood friend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other girl. My
Yeah.
apologies.
The girl,
No,
which
okay,
there
okay.
are spoilers. Like I'll tell you guys and whoever's listening in right now. In the story too, it's revealed later on that she's the reincarnation of someone else that was on his team that they were like
The
having
childhood friend?
Yes, but again, like that was a much more strong-headed warrior part of the group, and then now it's like
I wonder if it's gonna follow that in the anime, because it does seem like a different character.
yeah,
Who's not
and
headstrong.
also
Two of the same characters meeting back up
yeah.
again sounds like something very familiar.
And I'm also too the whole like fight scene they have at the beginning doesn't look like that at all in the manga. The villain looks very different. They look very prim and proper, which looks very weird. And the Demon King that he defeats in the first one is the girl on the cover of the like chapter 1.
Yeah.
And she shows up and she's also like in love with him because like he beat her, but like he like pretty much put her in line of what to do. It's a gag comic that's been refreshed to be a basic, boring isekai anime.
Yeah. I mean, it's a poor adaptation in my opinion. I probably would enjoy the manga version more. Because I just don't agree with like a lot of the changes they made. My biggest one being making the characters younger. I don't know what purpose that serves.
Younger target audience.
I guess, but I don't know. In the story, like viewing the story, it makes sense for, this is a problem for older people to handle, not children.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of the time, like a lot of these heroes are typically younger.
Well, like we said at the beginning, why waste your time on hiring middle schoolers to fight in your war when you have soldiers who have plenty of time to train harder and who are already trained to go into battle.
Know the world where this war's happening
and are already adept with magic abilities.
I'm more confused of like he was summoned back, but who summoned him? And who summoned the rest of his classmates?
Yeah,
was that just like
well.
they were there and we were in a rush and we had to pull?
Well, it's something the king did, and I think that they have the
ability.
That wizard girl that was like making the potion. I think she had a hand in doing it and re-summoned him because they have that moment, but I can't remember exactly in the manga.
I feel like they don't know who they were summoning.
No, I don't think they summoned him because when they were meeting with the king, that's when they said like it's not a mere coincidence that they showed up when the demons attacked
I think
again.
they
like
did
that took that as a
summon-
sign. They said they took it as a sign.
But the fact that they summoned this group is a sign that this is like you are destined to be our heroes, basically.
Yeah.
Like they were the ones that summoned them. That's what I got from it.
Regardless, I don't think any of us are going to continue watching this.
No, absolutely not.
I'm all right.
You tell us. You go watch it. You tell us how you interpret it, and then leave a comment or a voicemail for us. We'll listen to it and talk about your input on the next episode. But I think that's as much time as any of us want to spend on.
I don't even want to put a numeric value on it. I want to just say it was okay and a shrug.
Yeah,
like, that's literally about it. I'm like, okay,
it's not worth continuing. Go read the manga. You'll have You'll have at least get a laugh out of it, and not
probably get more of the story.
Yeah, than you will in here.
I guess
more
took
detailed.
a lot out.
So I mean, a 3 for me. It's not really worth rating, but
yeah, 0. I don't like it at all.
But moving on to our second one, which was Skip and
Probably
Loafer.
one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, it was rated higher than Oshinoko.
Yeah, and last episode we said that was probably the best anime of the year.
I think that's gonna still be the best anime.
Yeah,
of the
it's
year.
I really don't know how people compared the two, other than both being like in the category of slice of life, but Oshinoko being more than just that category. I mean, other than both both having beautiful art styles, there's really not much.
Yeah, they're very different series, but I feel like they both hold up on their own. Like, I only watched the first episode of both of these series, Oshinoko and Skip and Loafer. But I told you guys, like, out of all the slice of life that I've watched, this was like really, really enjoyable. And I'm not a slice of life person.
Well, I think our
But-
viewers know.
I don't know. But this had really unique art style, animation. The music was really good throughout the whole episode, and I found it very humorous. It was very funny at times, and I was interested in the story. A small town girl from, where is she? The country
Just
of
the
Japan.
small town.
I think it's just like in the countryside.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I think they did very well with this, and which is why I was so drawn in. It was like
Lonely
they introduced the main character so well, and kind of like that character's ambitions, like what she wants to do in their future, and that first day of high school. This is just the start
In
of it
Tokyo.
in Tokyo, and then wants to go to Tokyo University, but she needs to do all these studies first. And I don't know, it just made a good connection. I feel like you got to know the character
It
really
was
well.
good character building.
The family too as well, you learn about, and
Yep.
like her like friends from that hometown, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah, it's a classic small country town girl, big city, big dreams, big ambitions. And it seems like her ambitions are going to rub off on the main male protagonist who hasn't necessarily given it all in his life and like kind of just skates by and like doesn't really have anything he's all in on. And it seems like it's going to be her changing that and probably other people around her for these big ambitions she has.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The
But-
puker.
Yes.
The puker,
Puker.
first day.
It's nicely designed. It's a fresh slice of life, just in the way where the summoned was basic and boring. This is basic and refreshing,
Yeah.
soothing. You can
But
relate to it.
enjoyable. This is definitely
Yeah.
something you can put
Yeah.
on, watch, and just enjoy, relax. Like it's like a happy, you watch it when you don't want to be sad or anything.
It's a really good slice of life. Like it feels like this is what would happen in real life Japan.
Yeah.
I
I'm curious.
know, I'd
though
get lost
the voice
instantly on a train.
when they do dub it, since it was only available in sub, how the voice actors are going to sound in it, the English ones,
Right.
if it'll still perceive with that same like kind of essence for it, because this is definitely one where I'm like, okay, the sub really matches like the feel and the pacing of it in there for it.
Yeah, the voice acting for the sub was really, really spot on with conveying, certain emotions. And I feel like that's essential to making sure, like, jokes or even just, the lines hit with the audience.
To add real quick, Chris, like just the physical comedy as well, the expressions of
Yeah.
the eyes when she's tired in the morning, that got a physical laugh out of you.
Yeah.
When that happened, when she's like,
Well,
"Oh, good
because,
morning,"
like,
and then she's like staring like because she's been up
The
all
mom
night.
was I was laughing at the mom's
Her aunt.
reaction.
It was her
Aunt.
aunt.
Oh, the aunt.
or as she said, my father's sibling.
Yeah. Her reaction to that scene, seeing her after like being awake almost all night, just speechless, confused. I don't know. I just found it really,
Bloodshot
really funny.
eyes
Yeah,
staring.
wondering to
Because
make
she was
sure.
her expression on greeting her in the morning was, "Oh, good morning," and then just flat, nothing else, and then the scene ends, and I was
Awkward
like,
pause.
That's great.
It was an awkward pause while cooking eggs or whatever
Yeah.
the aunt was doing.
It was good.
Yeah, it was
Um,
fun. It was a
Worth a
good
watch.
time. Yeah, good time.
I can't think of anything bad about this series right now.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's definitely not groundbreaking. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not the Oshinoko killer #1 toppling like the charts, and I don't know why anyone would even make
Compare
that
the two.
comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, I would never compare those two together. No.
Two vastly different ends of the anime genre verse.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, We don't usually agree on a slice of life with Chris, so this is like.
But the
this
real
is,
question
this is an interesting episode already. This is out of the ordinary.
The real question is where does Chris rate it? Where is it on his,
my 1 to 10 scale?
Your 1 to 10 scale. How you actually feel about it? While you're thinking of that, this one I can definitely find more information on. Skip and.
So, like I said, art style was really good. The soundtrack throughout the whole episode was really good. And the pacing, character development, everything, all encompassing, all very well done. So I'm going to have to give this an 8.5. I was going to say 9, but nothing is, it's not groundbreaking. Nothing's blowing me away.
There's no swords.
No swords, no Vikings
If it's
or
to
ninjas.
no surprise, so the studio who did this one is PA Works.
Never heard of them.
Progressive Animation Works. That's what it stands for. They are responsible for series such as Angel Beats, Another, which is a very dark thriller, surprisingly, and another one we watched, which is Buddy Daddies.
Oh, really?
They did Buddy Daddies.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And a bunch of other ones. They have a lot under their belt. Sakura Quest, I've watched that too. But yeah, a lot of series, well versed, which definitely I'm sure contributes to their animation style that they've had in here.
Buddy Daddies, I never had an issue with their animation style.
Yeah,
I kind of did. I didn't really like it that much.
Yeah, the only thing I had a problem with was that story, and
it was more of the changing from sub to dub, right?
No, it was just the story.
Or no, it was from the manga to.
No, it was an original work.
No, was it?
No, it was an original work.
But you were saying something was different about the subtitles from sub to dub.
There was changes in the script for that.
The
but
cake
it was
scene in the
work.
elevator. That's the one that we really discussed.
I just really had a problem with later. The ending, I finished that one, and the ending was almost perfect enough to be like, this is a good series, different enough from Spy Family to warrant its existence. But
live action.
There was 2 plot points at the very end that were just like, this story progression makes no sense. How can you do this one thing and then go back and pretty much make what they just did pointless? And it was disappointing and disheartening to see, because it grew on me as it kept going on, and then it was like, nope, they just fucked it up.
That sucks.
Yeah, but Skip and Loafer, good time. I'll give it an 8. It's fun. Not anything too crazy or groundbreaking with the story, but very well thought out and written, and I'm sure true to the manga that it's representing.
I agree with John. 8 on this. I was definitely feeling like this was something that was kind of average in a slice of life, but it was enjoyable. I sat through it and I was like, wow, this is actually good, and it's got me hooked.
It'll be interesting to see when the English comes out for it.
Yeah.
My anime list, they gave it an 8.25 on there, and on Crunchyroll, drum roll, they gave it
in post-production
a 4.9 out of 5. That's
not bad.
Really high. Yeah.
That's almost perfect on it. And let's see what some of the comments say.
Yeah, I'd say these ratings are deserving. Pretty good anime.
Yay, wonderful dance in the opening. I already love this show style. It looks really cute. Let's enjoy this gem of a show every week, you guys. Happy to spend my Tuesdays watching with everyone. Yeah, it seems like it's making everybody just feel good. It's a feel good
feel
in a time of
life.
Boring isekais that are just plaguing.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that I want to ask a question. When you guys want to feel good and you want to watch an anime, what are you watching?
Death Note all the way.
Death Note?
Just
kidding.
kidding.
Oh my gosh, I was going to be Chris.
I'm just kidding. Well, I don't know if this constitutes as it definitely does not. It's not an anime. But if I want to feel good and I want to watch an animation, I'll turn on Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's my go-to feel good. It's not an anime. But it's close enough. It's a animation.
It's an anime
like
approved.
animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that count? Or should
I
give a
mean,
different one?
I don't think there's rules to this. It's what you want to watch. Like John, what would you watch?
What do I watch? Obviously, Spy Family.
That's not bad.
Spy Family?
And over and over and over again.
I think it's a great choice.
What would you watch?
My Neighbor Totoro.
That's a movie though.
Guys, sorry.
It's still though. It's yours is a Nickelodeon show.
We're all missing the clear winner here. We would all be watching Tomo-chan as a girl.
Yes, absolutely.
For the laughs, for the cries.
For the fight scenes,
Exactly.
you know, epic battles.
I think
happen.
maybe I'd put on Inuyasha as well. I usually feel good when I watch that.
Now that's a good cruise control show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so 8, what was yours?
8.5
8.5. So
out of 10.
Feel good. Go watch it.
Yeah, I
recommended by
recommend
us.
this one a
Put it
lot.
on. And then, without further ado, brings us to
Surprise, another
our last
isekai.
one. Yes. Our isekai trend never ends, just like all of them this year. But why Raeliana ended up at the Duke's mansion. Her name is so weird.
It is
Nancy?
very hard to say.
You caught it and then
phone.
dropped it.
Raeliana.
Raeliana. I feel like that was a character's name in something else.
Can't remember.
How many things
Raeliana.
we've watched?
Okay. So this is an isekai, Raeliana. Why Raeliana appeared
Do we have the
at the Duke's
description on that
mansion?
one?
Yeah.
I'll give the description.
Oh,
I know this
excuse
one.
me. The synopsis.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Sorry.
So
go ahead, Chris.
Raeliana is a character in a book that, what's the real lady's name? We don't know.
That are
She died and became
protagonists,
Raeliana.
yes. Rinko.
Rinko. Okay, so Rinko lives in Shibuya, and she's a student.
She's been applying. She hasn't been
Been
making it
applying,
in.
right? She just got
university.
accepted to Imperial University,
Yes.
and she's pushed off of a building.
Yes. Well, back up. She's been moping on top of skyscrapers.
Yeah. Okay, so she's
typical
asking
things
for
you
it.
do when you don't get into.
I guess, yeah,
Your university of choice.
So she was then pushed off of a building from some mysterious pixel figure.
Not to her
she's gonna
surprise,
remember.
because she saw this mystery person walk up to her.
Right.
But then she gets her acceptance message and is like, "Oh my god!" And
Gets all
then
distracted.
push.
So yeah, she inevitably appears to die and wakes up in a world that is a novel she has read, and she is reincarnated as the main character, Raeliana. And in this world, Raeliana is assassinated by her soon-to-be fiance.
Yes, destined to die a second time.
Right, and she does not want that to happen. So what does she do? She tries everything in her power to stop the engagement to live on. And that's basically the story.
Yeah. So
far.
beautiful as Chris's was, we'll quickly read through how it's summed up for us there. But living inside a fairy tale may sound like a dream, but for the heroine, it's more of a nightmare. After her mysterious death, Rinko is reborn as Raeliana, a loved and wealthy character in a novel, but she knows the ending of her is a murder at the hands of her fiancé, so she hatches a plan to stay alive, one that involves the devilish duke and a phony engagement. Can she rewrite her story? This is by Studio Frontier Works, and yeah, it was a good story. Better isekai than there's been, definitely better than the first one that we watched.
So I know I've said in a previous episode that I am not for isekai, and I still hold true to that. But this one in particular,
Let's what do you watch anime for, Chris?
swords, fight scenes, ninjas, the gist.
You said something about
isekai.
you said something about what
I
was
think
it?
you need
they
to
go through a struggle and they
I
feel
said
something.
especially not isekai and fan service.
Slice of
Like
life.
what I want is cool fight scenes, hard times. and then a happy ending, blah 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 blah.
We can just
And
replay that
reborn
clip.
into a story that
No,
I've
no,
read.
yeah.
So I can
Listen,
We'll replay that clip for this.
I liked this one because it was very different from like all the typical isekai of being reincarnated into a fantasy world with goblins or like your OP super strong.
Yes. No screens. I was very happy about
Yeah,
no
no
digital,
no
no digital.
stat screens.
Yeah.
It is interesting because this is like I'm reborn into a novel that I've read, and there's no overpowered characters at all. It's like merely a matter of affairs, and I found that really interesting. So the story and the way it's set up caught my attention and made me interested. The voice acting's really good too.
it. Yes, we watched it.
And dubbed. I
Don't we
thoroughly
dub it
enjoyed it. Yeah, so like maybe I need to explore more like different isekai that doesn't have to do with the typical cookie cutter genre tropes.
Wow, Chris. You know what that is right there? That's some real character growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this
This is your arc.
an anime?
This is
my
your
anime
arc, man.
This is it. This is where it all changes.
This is your arc from villainy to, you know,
Coming
being a
around.
hero.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean it was just really interesting to see something different from the isekai genre. Yeah, I don't know. I'm torn between this Raeliana and the Duke's Mansion or Skip and Loafer. I don't know which one I enjoyed more.
They're both really good.
They're both
Right?
They're
very
both have
difficult.
very good animation to it
Yeah.
too. And to correct myself, the studio that actually did this one was Typhoon Graphics, and they haven't done many other series in here. It looks like about 4 other ones, and none of them are anything that I've watched or like ever seen any advertising for.
Right.
So kudos to them. I definitely think this is one that people will want to watch.
I'll continue watching this one.
On my anime list, well, I won't give the rating yet until you guys do.
I want to hear
so-
size first.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with a lot of what you said, Chris. The thing that I liked too was just this was the first dubbed in English that we watched today. I watch a lot of anime dubbed, but I think
You watched Oshinoko dubbed yet? It's out.
I haven't watched it dubbed yet. I mean, that's going to be a sit down long
Guys need to watch it. You need to
But-
watch it. Episode 8 coming out next week. June 8th is going to be crazy. I am up to date with it.
Are they
Hooked.
releasing it on June
Hooked.
8th because it's episode 8?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You'll have to
but
tweet at them.
Doesn't it? It's too.
Too big of a coincidence.
Yeah, it's
Everything
it has to be
matters
planned.
in this puzzle that is who, spoiler,
It probably has to do with the
Killed.
story. Yeah.
I.
All right, well, back to what I was saying. Awkward
Sorry.
as this giant side conversation. No, I really like the English dubbed in this. I recognized immediately and had to say it out loud that
It's Vegeta.
it wasn't Vegeta.
It wasn't Vegeta. I was close though.
The Duke.
The Duke that's in here that you'll get to meet. The voice of Wheeze and Shoji from My Hero Academia. It's Ian. I forget their last name, but it's very, I don't know, just very iconic to me. So
Whis is from My Hero Academia.
no, Shoji from My Hero Academia, but Whis from Dragon Ball Super.
Oh,
Which I mean,
okay.
you've only seen up to Majin Buu, so I know you're not.
I
gonna
never
know
watched
who that
Dragon
is.
Ball Super
That's why I just
except
said.
the first episode.
Well,
when
that's
they're
why I
on the
said because
boat.
you only watched up to the Buu series. That's what I just said.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a superhero movie.
Yeah,
I know
it was
which.
in there.
Yes, that's a whole.
Whis
nother
was in that
discussion.
movie.
Yes.
Yes. Whis is the angel.
Oh, the purple guy.
Yes, he's blue, but
Whatever.
purple is Beerus. That's the cat.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Whis has white
Has
hair,
the staff.
slick back.
Yeah, he's the angel.
He's an angel.
Yeah, but no, I really enjoyed it, and this one got me kind of hooked because it's kind of like a murder mystery prequel because
Yeah.
you know it's going to happen.
You know it's gonna happen.
And it's like, oh, the character is now trying to change it. It's kind of like, what would you do if you were thrown into it? How would you prevent this from happening?
I would just kill them.
If
Well,
anything,
I mean, she had the musket at one point and try to scare him off, but
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the moment for her to just turn around and like smack him because he keeps grabbing her wrist.
Honestly,
like that,
I would have
man.
been like, I know you're gonna kill me eventually, so why don't you try it?
And just like get ahead of it and be like, no, slips vial back in the pocket. Like, no, but it is an interesting idea. Like, you knowing everything that's going to occur and then being like, you know what? Yeah, not today. Let's change this and see what we can do.
So what I found interesting is like, so she knows this is gonna happen, right? And I don't know how the book reads, but what if the events that's happening in the anime is similar to what happens in the book, and this is just a chain of events that inevitably leads to
that what's it called, that classic trope of like in time travel. It happens a lot in time travel. It's still always going to happen.
Yeah. These are fixed points in time.
You're causing the events that lead up to it,
right?
And nothing.
Maybe he was never actually going to kill her, but now he's like, oh well, she tried to shoot me once.
It almost seems like that with some of his dialogue. He's like, look, this is beneficial for both of us. We're just
but right after he kind of snaps, like in the doorway, he's like, well, you need me, blah blah blah.
Yeah, because he's pissed off and annoyed at that point because she's been trying everything to like.
Well, he admitted the only reason why he was doing it so this way they could do that sign over for the royal seal or whatever it is.
Yeah. Sure, but I don't think like his intention was to have her dead. Like his intention is to marry her and get the royal seal.
I think you're right on that. Of like initially, and it might have been like that's what he was just like. We're gonna live in an unhappy marriage, but it's gonna benefit me a lot more. And I can just deal with it. But it's probably it's the subtext that's left out of the books. That if I wouldn't be surprised if there comes a moment where she's like, "Huh, you know, they never explicitly said this in the book I read. I wonder if this is why it ended up that way."
So I guess we're gonna have to watch.
That's why I'm really interested, because it's like an interesting isekai.
Yeah.
You know, so people in the comments telling me I wasn't breastfed or I'm a child because I don't watch isekai stuff, you can apologize, please.
Here, Chris, have your moment with the camera. What would you like to say to the TikTok verse?
All I'm going to say is everyone has their preference and enjoy different things. So, you know, just leave me alone. I'm telling you now, I enjoyed this isekai, so I feel like I've been redeemed. And I could finally move forward because I've been dreaming about those comments.
I mean, today's a day, though. We got 2 for 2. Chris enjoyed a slice of life as well. Yeah. So today is like a step.
Those comments probably talk some sense into me, so I guess I should thank you guys.
You'll have to later stitch it after this episode comes out and be like, I just want to apologize to the community and the things that I said about anime. I was young and immature, but now I
was breastfed and now I'm clear.
Exactly.
That comment was crazy, though.
Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out our TikTok
at
Team Umai.
It's in the comments section. So I'm going to rate this an 8.5 again. No, it's pretty solid, in my opinion.
I'll keep it at an 8 still. I mean, this is really good. I'm very excited to watch the next episode. I'm very curious, you know.
Yeah.
And since it's dubbed, it's gonna be a little bit easier for me to enjoy. So
I will. I'll give it like a 7.5. I just more so for me, like I've made this clear of a lot of episodes. I want longer overall stories. That was cut very short. Yes, it got most of everything in there, but I felt a little rushed. It's still a good story. I definitely. This is going to be one of the ones I will end up continuing to watch. Which every single part we do of watching the seasons in here, there's usually 1 or 2 I stick with watching in them. And this will definitely be one of them. I'm still watching A Galaxy Next Door, which has kind of gone downhill for me. I watched that on the way up. And I'm still watching Hell's Paradise. That's starting to pique my interest more, which was slower at the beginning. God in a Godless World shot up way more for me, and that was already good to begin with. Yeah, that was a decent one to begin with,
minus the CGI.
Right, but it grows on you. But I'm telling you, you guys have to catch that up, and maybe we're gonna do a recap.
Hell's Paradise. I'm still continuing.
Yeah,
I think I'm only
there's a handful that I want to go back and
I think at the very end we're gonna have a big recap of everything.
Tier list.
Yes,
we need to make a tier list.
It out.
Chris loves his tier lists.
They're fun.
We'll tier out the spring season for you, but there's some good ones. And also there was one more that is escaping my mind right now. I'm sure I'll think of it later.
Was it
but
the friend one?
No, not that one. It was another one had to do, but it's. I don't want to waste any time thinking about it. I'll
But
text you
real
guys
quick,
frantically
you
when I
did
remember.
mention though that like you did feel like this was kind of rushed at one point, and I didn't realize that until you said it. But the montage in the middle of her trying to end the engagement, like doing everything after she got the book, I'm like, that was kind of like a real quick like
She did three
B-roll
things.
Yeah, like
She bought a book that was 50. What was it? 50 ways
yeah.
to end
Yeah.
it, and she
All
did
these notes.
three things.
yeah.
She obviously didn't try her hardest.
Exactly. And clearly, you know what? She's not really giving it her all and trying to end this relationship.
No.
But no, yeah, it's interesting. I definitely have to all watch them and then give a review on everything. Mashal's another one. It's not the one I was thinking of, but that's another one I'm watching. But yeah, it was good. 7.5 for me. On my anime list, they gave it. Scrolling up here, a 7.46.
I would have rated it a little higher.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like this is a unique isekai.
This
I'm like,
is, if anything, this seems closer to me to Oshinoko in terms of like it's a thriller, it's a mystery.
I'm liking thriller mystery though.
Yeah.
Like it's
Thriller mystery is great.
It's really
Sci-fi, thriller mystery, fuck fantasy. I'm over it. Like
what was
Done.
that one that we watched that was a video based off of the game where they were in the robot
yeah.
ones? Do you remember
Robot.
that? Yeah, there were robots, and then at the end they went into like puppet pals in the credit scenes.
Near Autonoma.
That one,
Oh yeah.
like that whole genre. I was just like, I'll watch it, but I was like,
Based on the game, yeah. It's no, but I thought you were gonna talk about my love story with Yamada, level 999.
oh, that one I did enjoy.
Yeah, I've been watching it. I've loved it. It's not dubbed yet, but it's still really good.
It's on the Reddit, the anime subreddit. They do weekly ratings for shows, and they my love story with Yamada, level 999, has consistently been, I think, top 5.
I'm not
The
Throughout
surprised.
the
animation's
past few
really
weeks.
good.
Yeah,
the
I think-
animation got me at the first episode when they're in his room and he's gaming and the lighting and all that,
Yeah.
and how he kind of that style right there and how they did it just looked really well.
I think we all
Really
really
good.
enjoyed that one from that in there. I can't
Yeah.
remember the exact rating we each gave it, but it was beautifully done. Great story, funny, relatable.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Definitely an A or S tier
Yeah,
when we get to that.
it's a great story. But
Chris is so excited for this tier list.
I'm
He's,
getting a
he's starting right now.
phone call from Zach.
oh,
Should I answer it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can answer if you like. But yeah, I mean that's been more or less the
Zach, you're on the podcast.
Yeah, you're on.
yeah. Hello. We were just wrapping up the three we
Yeah,
three we
we're
watched.
wrapping up. We're wrapping up the episode,
Yeah.
reflecting.
I think everyone is wrong.
I guess you'll have to listen.
You have to watch all the anime we've watched for the whole spring season and then say that.
Well, subscribe, listen, and share with your friends and everyone on the internet.
Cool.
Thanks,
All right.
Zach.
Hug your mom.
Hug your mom.
Hug your mom. Good advice.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Okay, bye.
Fair words. But yeah, I mean, it's been great. I've liked the spring season a lot. I've liked the spring season a lot more than I did the winter season, even though we didn't get through all of it. Think we got through all the ones that really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
That have the most interest from
The
just
community.
looking through all of it. And I tried to also take a last look through High Dive 2 to see if there's anything that we might, any other gems kind of like Oshinoko, but nothing really that jumped out. But, we'll be back probably next week with our wrap up. We'll probably do that via Riverside, or maybe we can just meet up and do it at my place and just kind of sit down, go through everything that we've rated, and give our tier list for what to watch this spring, because we got to get ready for that summer coming up next month, which we've got Reborn as a vending machine. We've got Go-Go Loser Rangers supposed to appear. I think summer's like the goated season because Bleach comes back for part 2. We won't be watching that on our watch list, but maybe we'll have a Bleach episode at some point just to talk about it.
And we have Otakon.
Otocon. You will
Coming
find us
up.
at Otacon. Sadly, we won't have a panel.
I got rejected.
Chris did get rejected. Not the first, not the last time. But
Wow, that was confident.
but
Chris's face, he definitely just rolled his eyes so hard on saying that.
I kid with love. But we'll have to submit multiple panels because there's people in those like the Discord that like submitted 20 different ideas. I don't think we need to go that crazy, but I think just a couple more things would give us a better standing. But we'll be walking around, got some wireless mics,
Asking questions.
Exactly, asking questions, asking you your favorite waifu. But
Chris's segment.
we've got some ideas coming down the tube that we want to do for it, and it should be fine. We've got a lot of good things planned.
Yeah.
But I had fun. This was got through it.
I just had a major cosplay idea.
What is it?
Instead of Team Rocket, we're Team Umai, and we go like a Team Rocket dress style, but we have our like logo.
Yeah,
And we get sued
That'd be
by the
kinda
Pokemon
cool.
company.
that'd be cool. Maybe you'll see Team Umai and Team Rocket form there.
Yeah.
But
So we're sponsoring Team Rocket. Is that what's happening?
well, that was one of the ideas. If you have any ideas, drop it in the comments. Please put stuff in the comments. We want to interact with you guys. We want to have more interaction. But thank you two for coming out today, doing it. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you check out some of these.
Been a
Thank
great
you,
spring season.
Thank you, Gamers Heaven, as well. We always
always.
have a good time here.
Sai just did a part 2 of the Lego Rivendell build from a couple weeks ago that he started. You can check that out on our Twitch channel and upload it on our YouTube also. And then, Chris, you have anything you want to wrap up with or say or work on or shout out or do? Do a little dance.
Do a little dance. Everyone say happy birthday to Chris in the
Yes.
comments
Oh my
because
God.
Chris's
My
birthday
birthday.
It is
is
his birthday.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be past his birthday by the time this comes out. But
So June 5th is the actual day.
yes,
There you
but
go.
happy
So-
birthday, Chris. For his birthday, he wants you to leave a comment. Leave as many comments as you can.
Nice comments.
Everywhere
But
you're
they could
listening.
be whatever comment you want.
Yes. Wherever you're listening to this, drop a comment, drop a like, drop a follow.
The
for
meaner,
Chris's,
the better.
For Chris's birthday. Yes, he wants roast Chris in the comments.
It drives me to be better or something.
He's like, I'm gonna have too much fun with this now.
But yes, and let us know how you feel. But that's it for me.
That's it for me.
That's it. It's a wrap.
Yeah, and that's Team Umai signing off for another Anumai episode of the podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks for another one for you.
For episode 12.
Episode 12.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.